Hey, if you don't know who I am, my name is Chris M. Walker. I'm the CEO and founder of legit.com. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how you can do rank and rent using a free WordPress plugin that I personally developed for you using AI. All right, let me go ahead and go through today's schedule. Today is March 6th, 2025. I can't believe it's already March, but it is what it is. Let me put this in present mode so it's easier to see. Think big principle number 7, the world rewards those who create massive value. I'm glad that this coincided with today's stream because that's kind of what I'm trying to do here is give you so much value that you like me and then you buy shit from me in the future. But if you want to succeed at the highest level, focus on solving bigger problems, helping more people, and delivering massive value. The more value you provide, the bigger the rewards financially, personally, and professionally. So it's kind of cliche at this point, but it's true. Deliver a bunch of value and it will come back to you. Morning routine, same thing as always. Think big, check metrics, exercise, breakfast, and read the Daily Stoic. You might find that my schedule is repetitive. That's on purpose. I do my best to live the same day over and over and over again and continue to improve on it and optimize it. Business administration, I review my sales and purchases. I catch up on SEO for legit, which I actually didn't. Well, I guess I did do a little bit of that today. I have an executive meeting with my co-founder, the chief of operations, director of operations, and myself every other Thursday. And then we did that today. It was very productive. Then I have a meeting with my executive assistant and go over any outstanding items that I have besides myself. And that's pretty much that. So we had those 2 meetings today. I somewhat prepared for this stream, although I did some of that once we actually got on. And then obviously do the stream. I check up on messages. This part I'm falling behind on. Well, not the Facebook. I'm doing well on Facebook. But I need to catch up on YouTube videos, my new SaaS, and the Think Big Challenge in Slack. I need to schedule out a bunch more of those. So there's that. And then the evening routine, dinner, downtime, read for at least an hour, and then go to bed. So that's kind of my schedule for today. It's a relatively light day. So now let's go over to Legit and check out our progress. You can see there I have 3 disputes going on. I am not above the rules. All righty. And I noticed something interesting earlier when I was checking up on this myself. And this will dovetail nicely into what we're going to talk about today because we'll look at the rankings and then I'll show you how you can use what I've built for you. But you can see our analytics. We still need to update that. In fact, we'll go over to online visibility and do that right now. Yes. Yes, you can. And I recommend that you do. You should take up as much space as possible. All right. So you can see lots of number 1s, although as I've mentioned numerous times, this is pulling in Google Maps as well as Google Organic, and it's showing whichever is higher. We're working on getting that separated out. We'll refresh our analytics. That usually only takes a second or 2. And we'll also refresh Search Console. Well, we want it to go through the last 7 days. So down a little bit, but normal fluctuations. But traffic is up 43% over whatever time frame this is. So that's good. And get our links and so on. So let's go back over to overview and see if our domain authority stack has been delivered. I don't think it has. At least it hadn't a little while ago. All right, so sorry, I clicked off the screen there for a second. Yeah, so we're just waiting on that to be done, and then we can start with the month number 3 stuff. But I think what we're going to do when I get back to it is just optimize some more pages for some more terms. So let's pop open Local Dominator real quick, see how we're doing in the maps. Of course, right now is when they would decide to do the gardening outside. I don't know if you guys can hear that in the background, but it's the way it goes. What's up, Larry? I wish it would just go right to scans. All right, so update all of these. I doubt there's been much change since yesterday, but I've said that before, and there was massive change. All righty. Run tell that. Apply. Confirm. Refresh. Now we wait. And while we're doing that, I'm going to be productive and get the other window open so we can check our organics. And that will lead nicely into what we are going to talk about today. All right. So we got custom home upgrades. That's not ranking that well. Neither is bathroom renovation. Near Me is in the top 3. That's good. This one's affordable remodeling services in Pueblo. That's a good one. I would imagine that's a pretty high intent keyword. And we are pretty much number 1 most everywhere. A couple of dots here and there. All ones for home remodeling Pueblo, 2.82 for Near Me. Kitchen remodeling climbing a little. The rest are basically the same as they were. I think remodeling, yeah, whatever. Yeah, it's up. Well, actually, it's down a tiny bit from yesterday, but not too bad. So pretty much no change from yesterday. Okay, now we can kind of get in. We're going to check our organic rankings, and that's going to lead me right into what I'm going to show you today. So let me present my screen again. All right. So we're going to check home remodeling. And then I'm going to go right into what we want to talk about today. Google search. Page 1, because that's how we do. Still number 1 in maps, at least from that location. And number 1 organic. And earlier, and it's gone again. Motherfucker. Maybe it's home remodeling Pueblo. Anyway, our Yelp was showing, yeah, it's home remodeling Pueblo. So we'll check that one in a second. But you can see we're number 1 in organic and in maps. Now let's do home remodeling Pueblo, because I think that was where I had the flex results as well. Oh, and I'm going to show you how many leads we've gotten today, too. It's absurd. Number one. There's our Yelp. But there were some other things I wanted to show you that I saw earlier. Oh, this is the Business Insider. This is our Yelp page that we made, I don't know, maybe a week ago. So that's ranking what? Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then this Business Insider is from the press release that we did. So that's ranking page 1 as well. And then if we dig down a little bit into the page 2 area, we got some other stuff. Earlier, the Facebook and the video were there as well. But this Wondercraft AI, this is, if you remember, we did a podcast thing that was an add-on to our press release that we did. That's ranking 2. Now, that's never going to drive any sales, but that's one more spot that somebody else doesn't get. I think this is one of ours. Yep, this is something that we created. I don't know if it was a Web 2.0 or a foundation link or what, but that's something, that's a spot that we take up that somebody else doesn't get. Here's my Twitter. That's a spot that we take up that somebody else doesn't get. This is ours. That's a spot that we take up that somebody else doesn't get. So I wanted to make sure I showed you that too. And our Facebook was ranking earlier. I guess it's not anymore. It's weird how it changes so often, but this is ours, I believe. Yep, this is ours. So you can see that press release is ranking really, really well. So my point is those are never going to drive sales, but they're spots that somebody else is not getting. So, we win again. So suck it, everyone that isn't us. Oh, and there's our Facebook. That's ranking as well. I knew that. I saw that earlier. So, we're dominating the first page with 1, 2, 3, 4 spots of the 10 organic and the number 1 in maps. I don't know how much more you can ask for. So that leads me to the point of today's live stream, which is how would we make money with this? I always try to sound like Kevin O'Leary when I say that. What I'm going to do is remove this and so you can kind of see the whole process. So one of the models that I talked about yesterday was rank and rent, which is where you get the site ranking and then you rent it to somebody else and they get all the leads. There's different ways you can do that. You can just change the information on it, but a more advanced and, in my opinion, cooler way is to actually do an iFrame of your site over theirs. So when people click on your result, they get their site. I think I said that backwards, but you get the point. I couldn't, if you were here yesterday, I Googled and I couldn't really find any plugins that were from anybody that I was familiar with, or the ones I were familiar with was somebody that I wouldn't trust with anything. So what I did was I went and made one of my own last night using AI and lovable.dev. And I can show you that later. But actually, before we do that, there's one other thing I forgot I want to show you. So let's go into Callfire, which is where we, what I did was I originally had the tracking number that we set up forwarding to my phone, but I was getting sick of getting calls all the time. So what I did was forwarded it to a voicemail, or had it go to a voicemail. And if you look at the call records, I'm sorry, I know I'm bouncing around a little bit here, but today alone, we've gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 calls through this site today alone. So, I'm sure that if each one of those could be worth, I don't know how much a home remodeling job is worth, but I can't imagine it's cheap. So, this is a lot of money that somebody's missing, right? So the way we could do that is we could go, let me just Google it from here. Home remodeling Pueblo. Hello, boss. Hello, sir. How are you? Hello, Clip Mix and Champa. And we could just come down here to hey, there's my video. Let's say page 3 and find, where's this actual site? From a house to a home LLC. Is this a similar business? Yeah, this looks, it's a shitty site. It's kind of hard to tell. Yeah, okay. This is a business that probably isn't getting any calls because they're not ranking well. They're on page 3. So what we could do is call them up and say, hey, we noticed that you suck. Good thing is we don't suck. And we're getting lots of business and lots of calls and we don't really want them. So would you like them instead? And they're probably going to say yes. Not if you position it like that. You would obviously want to do a better job of selling it than that, but you get my point. So what you would do is use a plugin to have, when somebody clicks on our listing at number 1, because, we're awesome and they're not. Let's show that. Right now, when you go and you see the number 1 result and you click on it, it's going to bring up our business. But if we decided to get them to pay us, what we could do is this. You can go to rank and rent plugin.com. And I developed this rank and rent plugin for you. You don't have to opt in or anything like that. It's completely free. You don't even have to give me your email. I would love to hear that call, even if you just muted their voice, maybe give subtitles instead. I really don't feel comfortable doing a live sales call. But I'll see what I can do. I don't know. We'll see. No guarantees. But anyway, this is the URL for the plugin I built. could not be more bare bones. It's very much a minimum viable product, so it might have glitches, although I haven't found any yet. You go to the site and you can scroll down if you want, but you can just click get started. Download WordPress plugin. It even gives you instructions on how to do it, but we're going to save it. And then we're going to come over here to our site and go to plugins and add new plugin. Now, if you don't know how to do this, to get this far, I can't help you. You got to go learn WordPress a little bit. And what I'm going to do is upload it, install now, activate plugin. Alrighty, now you'll see over here. Let me just remove this and zoom in a little bit. You'll see over here in the sidebar it says legit rank and rent plugin. Well, legit rank and rent. You can click on that. So you can see this is where I tested it last night. So suppose we made a deal with this guy to send him all of our business. So what we would do is take his site. Actually, we'll take his whole URL. Put it in there. Enable the entire site overlay. Hello, bathroom remodeling Huntsville. I love all your videos. It's my Rank and Rent YouTube channel. Why, thank you. And Creators Club says, hi, Chris. Hello, Creators Club. And save changes. So now, when somebody searches one of the many, many terms that we're ranking number 1 for, you click on that. It'll show our site briefly, and then it'll show theirs. So now even though it says Home Remodeling Pueblo in the URL, or whatever you want to call that in the bar there, it shows their page, and now they get that traffic instead of us. And then they just pay you every month to keep it that way. So if you're wondering how that works, it's just a HTML thing called an iFrame. So it's kind of showing their site over top of ours. And suppose they decide to stop paying, you just uncheck this box, click Save Changes, go back, click on it again. Bingo, bango, it shows our site again. It's really that simple. Now, I may add some other features to this as people tell me what they want, but I think that's probably the easiest way to, it's the fastest way to monetize it. If you want to just reach out to people, you know what you could do? Maybe I'll do this, is I will scrape a bunch of potential leads and make a loom of me doing this and ask them if they want to keep that and see if anybody's interested. Who knows if it'll work, but anyway, I don't really know. I mean, that didn't take nearly as much time as I expected. So is there any questions on that? Does anybody get how that works? Anybody have any concerns? Like, what do you got for me, fam? Bathroom Remodeling Huntsville says, I love this plugin. Love you. New things. Help me. I have a rank and rent site. I'm getting leads, but I don't know how to rent, and give me templates. I'm not sure what you're asking for. Are you saying you don't know how to sell it? Is that what you're asking? First of all, thank you for the compliments, but can you clarify what your actual problem is? Is it that you don't know who to reach out to? You don't know what to say? Like, be a little more specific so I can help you in the way that you most need it. That's an excellent idea. To be clear, it's not my idea. It's one of the first things I ever learned in SEO. I'm stunned that it's making somewhat of a comeback, but I could probably have sold this plugin, but I would much rather give it away for free and undermine the people that are selling them now, to be perfectly honest. But also, it's just another value add, and I'll get that. I'll somehow get it added to somewhere on Legit as well, so you don't have to go to the external site. But But yeah, I think that's such a super easy way to go about that. And now it doesn't mean you can't still do the other ways. I'm Nokubal Hassan Nobin. Help me how to reach out BO for rent it. Can you go over how to make plugins with AI? I meant, yeah, I'll do that in just a minute. I was meaning the Loom outreach. Yeah, I think so too. I think that's what I'm going to try. And maybe we'll do that on tomorrow's stream. It's funny. I told you I had a meeting with my executive assistant, and we are talking about how it's hard to come up with something to think about or to like do these on every day, but how each one seems to lead me to another idea. So that will actually dovetail nicely into how to get clients too. So it's going to like see how everything's kind of gelling. So what we're going to do tomorrow, and I'm going to answer you in a minute here, bathroom remodeling, and you, Aaron. But what we're going to do tomorrow is I'm going to use legit leads to find some leads, and then I'm going to record a Loom for at least one, and then do the rest off camera and send that to them and see if we can't rent this sucker out. I need email templates. So what you should do, my friend, is subscribe and turn on notifications. And be sure to show up sometime tomorrow. I don't know what time exactly yet, but even if you miss it, you'll be there on the recording. But we're going to do that tomorrow. And I'll give you guys the templates that I write. It's not even going to be a template. I'm going to do it off the top of the dome, but I'll give you whatever I write and you can do it from there. So I think that'll work. I'll be surprised if it takes, I don't know. I would think we would get a taker within like 25 emails. I could be wrong, but we'll see. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm guessing that you have a site that's bathroom remodeling Huntsville, Texas, and it would work exactly the same way. Like it's almost the same niche even. Can you go over how to make plugins with AI? You know what else I was just thinking? It's kind of unethical. Oh no, it wouldn't work. Never mind. Forget that. Yeah. So I did a demonstration of a different type of software on this, but I'll bring it up and show you exactly how I built this today or last night. Let's see, chat. So there's that. And then we'll go Lovable. So I used two different tools to develop this. I assume most everyone is familiar with ChatGPT. If for some reason you're not, what the hell's wrong with you? Where have you been for the last 3 years? No, for real. It's basically the Google of AI chats, basically. So basically, this is what I said to it. The first time I did not use deep research because I'm not used to it yet. I said, I want to create a WordPress plugin using lovable.dev, which we'll talk about in a minute. The plugin will be installed on the back end of a WordPress site. The administrator will put in the URL of a different website. When they do, and someone visits the front end of the site, it will use an iFrame to put the website they entered into the plugin over top of the current website. They should be able to toggle it on and off in admin of the site. In the admin panel of the plugin, it should say Legit Rank and Rent plugin brought to you by Legit with the text linking to legit.com. That was just a way for me to get some free links. Please write a prompt for lovable.dev to achieve this. They said, here's a well-structured prompt. And it kind of just created it and told it what to do. And that's it. And then I tried it again using deep research and it asked me a few more questions. And I didn't like what it said. So I asked it again. So, and it just kind of and then it gave me way too much. It didn't even give me the actual prompt. It just kind of wrote the whole thing, which was not what I was looking for. I'm sure that this code would work too. In fact, it gave me the full plugin code. But what I wanted was a prompt to write it with lovable.dev because then I can I don't know. That's just what I'm used to. So yeah, how do I see my projects? So here is the project. Love, if you've been watching the channel for a while, you saw me do this with bolt.new. Lately, I'm liking lovable.dev a little bit better. Your mileage may vary. They're very similar. I just find that this one is a little more dummy friendly. So not only did it create the plugin, it created the website for me. And it created most of this. Like it had it in blue at first, and I changed it to purple because purple is better. And then I tweaked some of the little things here. And it took a few different things. Did you actually make the plug? Because at first it just made the website and the download button didn't do anything. So I was like, did you actually make the plugin? And it said, no, I didn't. And then it made it as empty file. So, and then I tested it and it installed correctly, but it was giving me an error and it wouldn't iframe the site. So then I asked it to fix that and it did, but then it like fucked up the design on this site. And most of this back and forth was getting the site back to the way that they had it at first, because I thought it looked good. And I had to get a little snippy with it. And then it only changed the call to action. I was like, change everything back the way you had it. Do it anyway. God, why did you have to change things? I didn't ask you to change. I was getting irritated, as you can see at this point. And then it didn't work. Get started doesn't take us down to the download button, and the download button is different. I want it back the way it was at the beginning. Change the design back. And I said, this is still not the same as the download button originally was. I was like, now the plugin installs, but nothing happens when I click activate. And then we got stuck on this problem for a while. And I had to go through that several times to get it to work right. The plugin works properly. Don't change. And I finally got it. I said, the plugin works properly. Don't change anything about it. I want to change the blues on the website to this shade of purple. And then I just started tweaking the design a little bit to be more like how I wanted it. Added our logo because why not? And I had the logo linked back to legit because, that's the whole point. And then I deployed it and I bought the domain, and now it lives at rankandrentplugin.com. So that's kind of the whole process for how I created this, and how we now have a way to easily monetize our website. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's badass. I think this is a great time to be alive, because I remember when that would have taken months of development and thousands of dollars. If you're a developer, you may feel differently. What is Loom? Okay. So Loom, I assume you know what Loom is. If not, it's a tool. You can see it in my browser right here. It's a browser extension that lets you record your screen and maybe your face. And when I say Loom Outreach, you just go through and you record the Loom and you email it out to people that are prospective clients. So that's all. Would you use Lovable to create client websites or start the design? Asking because I haven't seen that tool. Is that its strength? I mean, were you here a few weeks ago when I did the other AI? If not, you can definitely use it to do that, or any of the AI tools to do that. But yeah, I created this website. Where is it? It created this website. I think that looks pretty good because I didn't even tell it what to design the site. It just came up with that on its own. Jim thinks that Bolt is better at design. So, it's up to you. But yeah, I suppose you could create a website. That site looks great. I thought so too. I thought it looked really clean. I may get a video like right here or maybe down here to demonstrate it, because it's a little hard of a concept for some people to get. So I think a video might help, but that's probably it. But yeah, I think you can create simple websites with it. Let's just start a new project. Create a good looking website for a home remodeling business in, I don't know, Arizona. Use purples and pinks as the theme. What are you questioning? I don't know what you're questioning. Use purple and pinks as the theme. Make it have several service pages and location pages and about page and a contact page. It will be used. I don't know what this is going to do. This may suck. More rank and rent. And I've never seen it take this long before. I guess I gave it too many. Oh, there we go. I'm kind of anxious to see how this works now, to be honest. I never thought of that. I mean, I kind of thought about it, but not, I haven't tried it. Chandler. Could it be any more of a home remodeling business? I'm going to be in Chandler in May for SEO spring training. Come join me. Come see me talk. It's going to be a blast. It's probably why I thought of Arizona. Whew. Go ahead and ask, as long as it's not how can I get more orders on Legit. That's making the contact form, making the pages. What are your thoughts on AEO? So I think I think you have to get mentioned a lot more. I think links aren't as important for AEO, but mentions are more important. It's one of the reasons I'm doing all this content and all the podcasts and stuff I'm doing is I think that's what's going to optimize for ChatGPT and all the others to show up there. And so far, I'm seeing some good correlation to it. So I think what's going to be important, and don't spam your names out there, but get your name out there on as many. When I say your name, I mean the name of whatever it is you want to show up, and as many high authority places and as many places as you possibly can without being spammy. That's my take on that, and that's why I'm doing some of the things that I'm doing now. Aaron says, I've got a prompt going as a test as well. This is neat. Yeah, I mean, I've created, I don't know, I guess if you may not have been here, but I've built, so it's more like, it's almost like reputation management in a way. So yeah, I think so. Again, that's not, I don't have a lot of data to support that, but that's my opinion. Like I've built a lot of tools with this. I did most of these with bolt.new, but I like Lovable better now. Legit. Let's see. File converter. I made this one with AI. So it's like converts files to different, like images to different types. And then Legit. Legit tools is some SEO tools that I made. Nothing too fancy, but things like this. And I made legit ROAS calculator, which is return on ad spend, if you don't know. And then, oh, typed it wrong. I made this one. I did this one live on a live stream where we made some other tools as well. And I think I've made some others, but I can't remember what else. Oh, and I made my Think Big Movement site. I made this in bolt.new. Go ahead and sign up for that if you don't mind. Top review card says, is it better to create a few blog posts before launching? I guess that means launching the site. Not necessarily. What happened here? There we go. Project is being used. I've never seen that before. First time I've seen that happen. Build unsuccessful. Huh. That's never happened before. I mean, I'm sure it's happened before. It's never happened to me before. Let me refresh. It's probably because I was moving around tabs. Looks like our AI took a bit of a hiccup and broke the app. Try fix. Yeah, I've never had that happen before. Of course, it would happen live. Oh, come on. All right, let's try this. No, it's working now. I probably gave it too complex of a prompt, but or at least too many instructions without a clear pattern. It's usually better to do one page at a time kind of thing. I'm hungry. Here we go. Oh, damn it. All right, so that's not bad looking. There's a couple of broken images, but we can fix that. Some fake reviews. Get started button. I don't know. I think that looks pretty damn good for a site that I just typed a few words to get. Services. Kitchen remodeling. I think this is pretty damn good, honestly. Locations. Yeah, like some of the images are broken, but Chandler. I don't know. I think this looks pretty damn good. About that, it even made up some stuff. Core value, integrity, meet our team. I think this is a pretty nice looking site for what we do. I think this means you could shit out these kinds of site, pardon my language, but you could shit out a site like this in a day, like 10 of these in a day and be off to the races. I'll actually put the link to it in the chat. This really makes the laying the groundwork portion a lot more efficient than it used to be, doesn't it? It's crazy. Like I said, it's a great time to be alive. Yeah, I'll put the link to this in the chat. Like you could, with a couple more tweaks, like you would want to probably change this text to white and things like that. Like other than the broken images, who has ever paid for a web design that didn't look as good as this does? I know I certainly have. It actually gives me an idea of something I want to do. So the Python Path with Himalaya donated. Thank you, Himalaya. Hey, Himalaya, for those of you that don't know, is our AI developer for Legit. So all of the AI tools you see on Legit, he's the brains behind much of it. So thank you for your donation. You know how to claim your free merch. Aaron says, I have too. So and now what we could do is go rank this just like we did this one. And then we could use this plugin to rent it out. So yeah, I find that all pretty exciting. Maybe I'm just a fucking nerd, but I think that's pretty badass. So, does anybody have any questions, comments, thoughts, concerns? One thing that irritates the shit out of me about lovable.dev is it continually refreshes this area, and I don't know why. It drives me insane, though. Like the first time I was building something in it, I thought that like it was a problem with what I was developing, and it kept doing it over and over again. And I spent hours trying to get it to stop, and it turned out that wasn't even the problem. Scary time. See, I don't agree. I think it's an awesome time to be alive because I've had so many ideas that I wanted to do that I didn't do because it would have been too time consuming or too expensive or too like distracting. And now I can just like as I was watching How I Met Your Mother last night, I popped out this WordPress plugin site and now it's had like hundreds of downloads in less than a day. So to me, it's a great time to be alive. But I get what you're saying too, especially if you're a developer. All right. Well, it seems like the comments and stuff are dying down. Um, well, I guess this is time, as Jackie would say, to pay your tax. And what I mean by that is I'm going to ask you all to please subscribe to my channel. I'm working very hard to bring you lots of value as my Think Big principle of the day described. So if you could please subscribe, I would really appreciate it. And then turn on notifications so you can check out our live streams every day. We put out a new video every week. We've got some good stuff that has come out and some other good stuff coming out. We put out several shorts a day. Some of them do better than others, as you can see. It's very weird how shorts work. Like we were consistent, and then these have been shit. So do me a favor and subscribe. We do live streams every day as well. And I would appreciate it. Which AI did you use to create the rank and rent mechanism for your site? If you mean this plugin, I just use lovable.dev. And come on. And I literally just made the whole thing in like an hour. The plugin and the site for it. Anyhow, yeah, and just do that. And if you want to connect with me in between, or me or anyone else in the community in between now and then, you can go and join the legit Slack channel. It's finally starting to pick up some steam. I'm doing daily think big challenges there. I'm doing daily legit profile reviews there. And we're going to add we have link swaps and we got some other cool shit that we're going to be adding there as well. Scott says just subbed and thank you for the WordPress plugin. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate that. It's very rewarding to know that the effort that I put into this is reaching some people. So I'm glad that it is. But yeah, so I don't know. This has been a good week. I'm really excited. So to recap, what we're going to do tomorrow is we're going to try to we are going to find some leads to rent this site out, because I applied to several call networks and they're taking forever, or they want you to get on a call because God forbid anybody just make it easy. Jade says, what plugin do you speak of? It's this one. It's the legit rank and rent plugin that I made myself with AI. If you want to see how it works, just go back and watch this stream, and I'm going to add a demo video to this page as well. Why did it not go in the chat? I'll just do it this way. I really want this to rank for rank and rent plugin too. So if anybody out there has a blog and they would like to review it, that would be awesome. So let's put that in here. I don't know why it didn't show up. Well, anyway, there it is. Tomorrow, we're going to find leads. We are going to make a Loom video, and we're going to send it via email to them. And then we'll see if we get any replies. If we do, we will rent that out. I don't know how much to charge for something like this. $500 a month, maybe. I don't know. I'll think about it. But yeah, so I think that's going to do it for today. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for those of you that subscribed. Thank you for Himalay for your donation. Last month, we donated to Claire's Place Foundation. This month, it'll be for something different. I don't know what yet. I actually do have something in mind, but it'll depend on if they're eligible for donations yet. But it'll go to a good cause. And I hope that you find this entertaining. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to hang out with me and spend some time here. I know that the world's a busy place. You have a lot of different things you could do with your time. That you spent some of it here with me is something I will always appreciate and never, ever, ever take for granted. So thank you so much. I will talk to you again soon. And in fact, I'll talk to you tomorrow when we're going to try to make ourselves some money. I'll see you then. Peace.